Annually, 34.7 billion cubic meters of salt water are converted to fresh water. Access to clean water is crucial for human survival and development. However, in many regions of the world, the supply of fresh water is limited. Faced with this reality, seawater desalination has become a vital solution to supply drinking water to coastal communities and areas with water scarcity. In this video, we will explain in detail the industrial desalination process, from its basic principles to the most advanced technologies used today. Seawater capture. It all begins with the capture of seawater, since it is the starting point for the entire drinking water production. The location of the seawater intake is strategically chosen to ensure the availability of water of suitable quality for the desalination process. Generally, areas are selected where the water is deep enough and relatively free of contaminants. These intakes are usually located in coastal areas, at a certain distance from the coast to avoid the influence of land pollution. The collection structure is designed to collect seawater efficiently and safely. It typically consists of a series of grates or screens located on the seabed or on elevated structures, such as breakwaters or docks. These grates are designed to allow water to flow into the intake while preventing the entry of large objects such as stones, debris, fish, or other marine organisms that could clog or damage the desalination plant equipment. Once the seawater enters the intake through the grates, it is pumped to the desalination plant using pumping systems. These may include submersible pumps located at the same intake or pumping stations on the shore. The capacity and design of the pumping systems are adapted to the specific needs of the desalination plant, taking into account factors such as the required flow rate, the distance to the plant, and the elevation necessary to overcome any difference in height. Measures are implemented to prevent contamination of captured water and freshwater intrusion into the coastal aquifer. This may include installing physical barriers to prevent the entry of contaminants, as well as continuous monitoring systems to detect any changes in water quality. Throughout the collection process, constant monitoring of the quality of the seawater is carried out. Tests are carried out to measure parameters such as salinity, temperature, pH, and the presence of contaminants. Removal of suspended solids. The removal of suspended solids is a crucial stage in the seawater pretreatment. The first stage of suspended solids removal generally involves coarse filtration of seawater. At this stage, the water passes through large filters designed to retain large particles such as sand, shells, algae, and other floating debris. These filters can be made of porous materials such as metal or plastic mesh. Coarse filters help remove larger particles that could clog or damage more sensitive equipment in later stages of the process. After coarse filtration, the seawater undergoes finer filtration to remove smaller particles and suspended sediments. This is achieved by using smaller size filters with smaller porosities. Fine filters can be composed of filter media such as sand, activated carbon, microfiltration membranes, or filter cartridges. These media are capable of retaining micron-sized particles, including bacteria, fine sediment, and other contaminants suspended in water. Removal of organic matter. In some pretreatment systems, chemical coagulation and flocculation processes can be used to facilitate the removal of suspended solids. During coagulation, chemicals such as aluminum sulfate or ferric chloride are added to seawater. These chemicals form small solid particles called flocks when they react with particles suspended in water. Then, during flocculation, the flocks clump into larger particles that can be more easily removed by sedimentation or filtration. Coagulation and flocculation can significantly improve suspended solids removal efficiency, especially in waters with high turbidity or high particle loads. After filtration and, where appropriate, coagulation and flocculation, the pretreated water is directed to sedimentation tanks. In these tanks, the flocks formed during the chemical flocculation settle to the bottom of the tank due to the action of gravity. The clarified water, free of most suspended solids and flocks, is collected at the top of the tank and sent to the next stage of the pretreatment. Throughout the suspended solids removal process, continuous monitoring of water quality is carried out. Sample analyses are carried out to measure parameters such as turbidity, concentration of suspended solids, and presence of microorganisms. Disinfection. Seawater disinfection is a critical stage in the pretreatment process before desalination. Chlorination is one of the most common methods of seawater disinfection. Chlorine is added to water in the form of sodium hypochlorite, bleach, or chlorine gas. Chlorine reacts with microorganisms present in the water, such as bacteria, viruses, and protozoa, destroying their cellular structures and neutralizing their ability to reproduce. Chlorine dosing is carefully done to ensure effective disinfection without overdosing, which could produce unwanted and potentially harmful chlorination byproducts. Ultraviolet radiation is another effective method of seawater disinfection. Water passes through a disinfection chamber where it is exposed to high-intensity ultraviolet light. This radiation damages the genetic material of the microorganisms present in the water, preventing their ability to reproduce and causing their death. UV radiation adds no chemicals to water and produces no disinfection byproducts, making it an environmentally friendly and safe option for human consumption. Desalination process. The pretreated water is heated in a heat exchanger using thermal energy generated by fossil fuels, solar energy, or electricity, becoming into steam, leaving behind salts and other solids dissolved in the process. The vapor is cooled in a condenser, where it is converted back to liquid water. Distilled water, free of salts and other impurities, is collected in a separate container for storage and distribution as drinking water. The pretreated water undergoes additional filtration to remove any particles or materials that could clog or damage the reverse osmosis membranes. The pH of the water is adjusted to optimize the operating conditions of the membranes and prevent the formation of scale. It is then pumped at high pressure into the reverse osmosis module, where there is a series of semi-permeable membranes that retain salts and other impurities, allowing only purifying water to pass to the other side of the membrane. Freshwater storage. Once the fresh water has been treated and disinfected, it is stored in large storage tanks within the desalination plant. These tanks are typically constructed of corrosion-resistant materials and designed to maintain water quality during storage. In addition to storage tanks within the plant, fresh water can also be transferred to external storage tanks located in the same plant or in nearby areas. These tanks can be overhead tanks, underground tanks, or reservoirs, depending on storage needs and space availability. Once stored, regular water quality tests are carried out to ensure that it meets the drinkability and safety standards established by health authorities. Parameters such as pH, turbidity, residual chlorine concentration, and the presence of microbiological contaminants are monitored. And so, we come to the end of our journey through the amazing process of converting salt water into fresh water. Do you have any questions or comments? Don't hesitate to leave it in the comments section. We sincerely appreciate your time and attention. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for joining us and see you in the next video. See you later.